Hey everybody, I'm Austin McCurley. I'll be one of your staff members up here at Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp, and I'm going to show you how to operate one of our wood stoves. So before we get started, just some safety precautions is you always want to make sure that your smoke detector is working. So in your cabin, every cabin will have a smoke detector and a fire extinguisher by one of the doors in your cabin. And to test the smoke detector, you'll just take your broom and you'll press the round button right in the center, and it will chime once, and then it will do a test, and then it should stop. If it doesn't work, please find one of our camp staff and we will get new batteries for you and make sure that you're all set up that way. Another thing is you want to make sure that nothing is on or near or around your wood stove. So a lot of cabins will have their brooms or their dustpans or garbage bins next to the wood stove, and you want to make sure nothing is close enough to melt or catch on fire. And then first and foremost, fire should only be tended to by the adults in the group and only handled under adult supervision. You should never be playing with fire or fire starters at any time. So let's get going. So fire starting 101 is you'll find a couple different kinds of fuel. And so small stuff like this that will be super easy to light on fire, like paper, we're going to call that tinder. And so that's step one. And so what I like to do, this is pretty standard for our camp stoves up here. And so I make a log cabin, as you can see I've made in there. And then I'll take some paper or tinder and I'll stuff it inside. And you'll just want to make this nice and full. You want to make sure you leave space for the next level of fuel. And on one more. And that should be plenty. Okay, and our next level of fuel is going to be small sticks and twigs called kindling. Good rule of thumb is they're not typically any longer from the tip of your hand to your elbow, and they shouldn't be any thicker than your finger or the flat of your hand. So I've got some kindling here, and then when we light the paper will light this, and these will burn longer and light our large fuel or our logs that we put on the fire. So you'll make sure that this is just spread out in contact with the paper and in contact with the large fuel when you finish making your log cabin. So that you're sure that everything catches on fire on the first try. And then I'll leave this open so everybody can see. But in the lodge, you will find in our kitchen, we can get you lighters, and so you can start all your fires on your own. And then I'm going to go ahead and light this and hope that it lights on the first time. Now, before you light your fire, though, you want to make sure a lot of our fireplaces have these chains on the side, and this is called the flue. This allows you to enable how much airflow is coming in and out. So you want it all the way open or all the way down when you first start the fire. And that allows for maximum airflow so that you can get your fire started nice and easy. And then to make sure that your fire continues burning longer throughout the night, you'll close it a little bit, and then once it kind of adjusts, you'll close it a little bit more, and then that way it'll burn even longer through the night, and you don't have to get up as often. So I'll make sure they're all the way open. And I'll light a couple places on the paper right here in the front. And then you kind of just wait, make sure it looks like it's going good now, but just be ready to add more paper or more kindling if need be. So now we can see the paper is catching our kindling on fire, the small twigs, and then the kindling below the log in the back should be able to catch the large fuel on fire, and then you're ready to go. Just like that. Gonna put one more log on. And then you can leave it open. As the fire gets bigger and hotter, it'll suck the smoke out more. So you'll have a little bit of smoke coming into your cabin first. That's totally normal. If it keeps going, maybe stop and find one of the camp staff, but it's totally normal to have some smoke coming in. We may even set off our smoke detector here in a second, which will be a good test. But if you keep the windows and the doors open as you're getting your fire started, And then once it's going enough to suck the smoke up out the chimney, you'll be good to go. And then once you're sure that all your large fuel is on fire, or any of the substantial fire going, you can close the door, and then you'll just twist the lever and it will shut. So just like this.